Hi there and welcome to the channel of A Disappointed Man with me, Jason Kennedy, the Disappointed Man, coming to you this evening from an incredibly hot Taiwan. Now it is Tuesday, so that means tags, and I found a great one over at Books I'm Not Reading, and it's the book cover tag. It was created by Lisa in Bookland. Full link in the description below. So let's begin. Prompt 1 of 9, and it is books with paintings on the cover that you really like. I've chosen 5 to show you. The first one is this self-portrait by Mary Ann Newton, and it's on the cover of Anne Bronte's The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, and I just find this extremely beautiful. She lived a very short life. Okay, the second one, you may know this painting, you may have seen it elsewhere. It's Perugini and his girl reading in an orange grove. That is wonderful. Yeah, George Gissing, The Odd Women is the book. Another Gissing novel for the third one, He's Born in Exile. This is an excellent novel. And it is this wonderful painting by Louis Houvy. It's called The Rake, rather self-explanatory. The next is from Prosper Mérimée, Carmen and Other Stories, and it is by Goya. And I just love the colours on there. That's from 1770. That is wonderful. And the last one is rather special because it's Sir Walter Scott, The Bride of Lammermoor, and the picture is by John Everett Millais of the Pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood. But what's special here is that the picture is called The Bride of Lammermoor, and perhaps no other writer during their lifetime inspired as much visual art as Sir Walter Scott. There are apparently thousands of paintings of scenes and moments from his work, and that is a particularly fine example. Okay, the next one, film, TV tie-in covers. Now, I do tend to avoid these at all costs. Does that make me something of a snob? Perhaps, but I do have one here that is excellent. It's from one of my books of the month, and it is Marguerite Duras, The Lover. That is a beautiful cover. Next, Nicest Spine. Well, I couldn't find a Nicest Spine, but I found an amusing one to share with you. It's from this huge collection of Jack London stories, and what I find amusing is that on the spine, underneath the author's name, rather than a picture of Jack, what have they put? Yes, the wolf again. So just found that amusing. Next, non-fiction covers. Let me find some. I'll just share 2 with you. The first is from Touching from a Distance by Deborah Curtis, and it is this picture of Ian Curtis, lead singer of Joy Division. And I just cannot overstate how important the music of Joy Division has been in my life. And so when I look at that picture, I just feel so much flooding through me. There are actually better photos of him inside, particularly this iconic one of him smoking a cigarette. So yes, I like that. The next one, you may have seen this picture on the internet, separated from its cover. It's this working man enjoying the books on offer in a library, and it adorns the cover of a magnificent book by Jonathan Rose, The Intellectual Life of the British Working Classes. And as a member of those working classes myself, this speaks to me across history. Least favourite covers. Okay, this should be fun. I have 5 that I've picked out. Some I've mentioned before. This Arden Shakespeare, The Winter's Tale, I just cannot understand the logic behind this cover. It looks like someone running for the US Senate, or like Susan Sontag. It's so anachronistic. It's preposterous. My second one is also an Arden Shakespeare. It's this terrible The Taming of the Shrew, blurred red woman with no face. Who came up with that concept? That's terrible. Then it was an awful novel. It was my second review, Elizabeth Bowen, The Death of the Heart. But perhaps even worse than the novel was the painting on the cover. It looks like something went wrong while they were doing this. Perhaps they left it out in the rain. It's by Gwen John and it's awful. Next up, yes, the Modern Library. Have you seen these before? They just look like someone, maybe someone from the post office designed this. It looks like a parcel. Yes, I can't warm to these. It's a great book, Leaves of Grass, but that is horrible. But my winner, if you want terrible covers, then academic books are perhaps the best place to look. And this is The Elements of Style, which is a great introduction to becoming proficient in academic writing. But the cover, the top half, is a very boring sofa, and it's as if someone thought, uh-oh, we have to offset that boring sofa with, well, with what? So they've gone for some toy animals walking across the floor. Isn't that just awful? It has no relation at all to the contents of the book, and it's far from beautiful. I think you'll agree. Covers that you like in a weird way. This took some thinking about, but I'm going to go with my Oxford History of England because it's not so much the design of one of them, but it's when you've got a few volumes of them. I have a whole bunch, and you put them all together on the shelf, and yes, very satisfying feeling develops. And they're also thrillingly weighty. They're as heavy as history itself. Modern or abstract covers, I've gone with this one. It's Alan Ayckbourn's play, Communicating Doors, and it's such a simple idea, beautifully executed. That is marvellous. Shame it's not a very good play. Covers that you understand after you've read the book. I have a great example here. Robert Louis Stevenson's Kidnapped, which I finished just last week. And yes, you'll know someone is being kidnapped without having to read the novel. But the more interesting part is the rowing boat there in the background and the gentleman sat at the front of it, because after you read Kidnapped, you'll know that that man is an absolute bastard. It is the hero, David Balfour's uncle, who has arranged with the captain of the ship to kidnap his nephew and ship him off to the Carolinas and sell him into slavery. So you have a very different and more complete reaction to this little figure after you've read the novel. And the last one, cover buys. Books where you saw the cover and you simply decided, I want that. I have an example here. It's this, Ancient Lives, the story of the Pharaoh's tomb makers. I love things to do with ancient Egypt, and basically, as soon as I saw this book, bang, I had to have it. And it was excellent. It included transcriptions of some of the dreams that had been recorded by ancient Egyptians, and they were simply fascinating, a wonderful read. So there we have it. Regular viewers of the channel will understand my passion for the visual arts, and so I just could not resist this tag. I was going to do the World Cup tag instead. I'll do that next Tuesday, but for now I will bid you farewell. So until the next time, be safe, be strong, and I shall see you anon. Nanu nanu.